Hello everybody and welcome to my first review. Today we're taking a look at the park. I decided to choose this map because I think I can say a lot about it. There are a lot of minor mistakes, some major, and just a nice thing to start off. I found this map randomly. I actually can't really remember where. I think it was on Reddit. On CS Mapbacker's Reddit, where some guys decided to give out some free feedback, and it was one of the comments. Coming to the description of the map, it's pretty short. It just says that Phoenix landed on a train in a small Italian town to prevent a Crown from building a new nuclear power plant. Alright, so one of the things that I would say is a really heavy issue is that it wasn't built on grid. So if you look everywhere, the walls aren't quite connecting and like going into each other. If you look at the ground in some places, you have these offsets by 1 or 2 pixels. You can also see it right here in the house. Yeah. It's a bit bothering, but just a quick reminder that staying on grid helps a lot in future progress. As you can see, everything is a bit off. It's not connecting smooth. It would just help. The only scenarios when you really should go off grid is when going into prop placing or higher detail. But like for this state of a map, I know like it could look very blocky if you stay on grid every time, but like this is just a bit disturbing. There are some quite easy problems to fix. Right here you can boost out of the map. Pretty easily. And like jump over. When it comes to clipping, not only that you can boost out of the map, but there are all the stairs are not properly clipped. Like they're clipped properly until the last step, and then like from here to here there's no clip, so if you look at the aim it just jumps up. You could also show it to you, like this is smooth. Also here you can see that the off-grid work even is there on the stairs, so these ain't smooth either, but we have this jump in height on aiming. There are also some stairs unclipped that you should fix. And okay, he didn't spawn this time, but there's one CT spawn that you forgot. That's right here. And sometimes there are CTs spawning here. As you can see here. Again, off grid and just missing the last step. I like that you work on your 3D skybox, but these are also some pretty quick fixes. Those houses are floating, and these are quite fine. Also, you could add more texture to the 3D skybox, maybe make it like mountains or something in the background. The skybox itself is very blue, like simple. Normal skybox just looks a bit lame, to be honest. There are a lot of better ones, I think, out there. Coming to the sites themselves, A is a lot of visual cluster. Like if you stay here, there's so much going on the screen. Different props everywhere, and I guess it could be distracting. It's often better to have a more minimal way in some places. Like there's just a lot of visual cluster right here. When it comes to B, I think the major issue that there is no safe plant. Like everywhere you would plant, it's open from a lot of sides. A lot of long corridors here as well. The whole map is actually another issue, that there are a lot of very long corridors. Also, if you look at this right here, there is a gap which leads directly to this site itself. I guess this is also a problem of off-grid work, that it just didn't connect properly. Another problem, layout-wise, I think, is that B is very complicated when you look at corridors. Like, if you look at going through here, how many corners you would have to check. Also, this is like pretty useless. You could kind of cut it off somewhere. I think one corridor to a site, you can just make this as short or something. It's better than having these 3-4 ways connect into actually this very open bomb space. Then you have these props right here that cause these very dark shadows. This is actually a pretty easy fix. You should disable the shadows on these props. It will make it look a bit prettier also on these, because now they're kind of disturbing. Another problem that I have with props is that some seem very out of place. Like this toilet right here. Why would it be there? Doesn't really have any purpose. And if you look at A, there's these boxes are fine, I guess. A lot of maps do it. I don't like the box approach, to be honest. I always like it a bit more architectural and stuff like that. On city spawn, this grass wall right here could be replaced with a displacement. It would just make it look a bit more natural, a bit prettier overall. The next thing I would put work into is also house fronts. Those are very flat, if you look at it. I would recommend using reference pics, so that you have an idea on how those buildings could look like, and it's pretty easy to work off then, and it will just look a bit cleaner. Like these are just very flat walls everywhere. When it comes to the name, the park isn't as special as it could be. You have these power plants and the scenario behind it. I think it would be better if you rename it to something that is more special, so that it is easier recognizable, because I would just guess that there are a lot of workshop maps called the park. When you look at the sponsor, I think the idea of the terrorists coming in a train is quite nice, quite fun, but you could work around the train station a bit more. Like this looks pretty flat. You can easily use reference pics to make it a bit more interesting. City spawn is very empty. Also, there's no way where like this heavy vehicle could come from. It's pretty big and it doesn't fit through any of these. I don't think it came down the stairs, to be honest. But you could also add something interesting here. This one-way bangable bridge is a pretty neat idea, in my opinion. It could be quite fun gameplay-wise. Alright, I think this is it. There are a lot of small mistakes here made. Hopefully you can learn a bit from it. If you see this and you would like your own map to be reviewed, just check the description. There will be an email where you can send it to. I think I will post another review on Sunday. Hopefully someone wants to be reviewed until then, or I will just choose another random map. Well, see you next Sunday if everything goes fine.